Okay, all ready for winter, right? The leaves are turning, the sky is gray. It's getting cold. Yeah, I'm in a t-shirt right now, but it's winter's around the corner. So I got the Kubota all fixed up, ready to go to plow snow. I put a electric plow on it this year, as opposed to the hydraulic setup I had before. Oh, and I also have all kinds of great accessories for this thing now. I have a 2200 watt generator, PTO driven, that I can back up part of the house on. I have that rototiller it came with, and I got a back blade to like drag out the gravel. Took me 3 days to get this kind of roughly flat, but it worked. And so I'm ready, right? I'm good to go. Look at it. It's perfect. Except then I found this. So yeah, I found a tractor. Like, I know that's a tractor, but that's a tractor. Wow, it's beautiful. I don't know. Another thing I noticed is the muffler that's been rigged up to this thing. I think I could do better, but I don't know. I'm not a farmer, so yeah. See, just a tin can. So I'm assuming its purpose is like a muffler, because what else could it possibly be, right? All right. So you never throw anything away. An old Walker cherry bomb style muffler from like the 60s or 70s, been sitting on my shelf for several decades, and suddenly I have a use for it. But I did a little measurement, and the 2-inch exhaust pipe size on the tractor is identical to the 2-inch input and output size on this muffler. So I put a little strap on it just for now, a little plumbing strap. I'm going to throw that on there. We'll see if it makes a difference. And another thing I've had on my shelf forever, trying to find a use for, is a tractor exhaust pipe flap. So it's getting used now. Don't put your hand in there. Corn pop, because he plows corn and his muffler goes pop. Out there in the trailer, I have a back blade for it. I just don't know if the 3-point hitch works on this tractor. Well, that's not the 3-point hitch. But it does have a loader on it, and that's what I found on Marketplace again. I googled loader. I was going to maybe put a loader on the little Kubota, and then I'm done, right? Well, for the price of a loader, I could get the whole tractor here with the loader and a snow blade up front. I'll pop a picture up here what that looks like, and then I pay a little extra for the grader on the back for dragging snow, and I'm going to drag out this gravel driveway a little bit smoother. But in order to check out this 3-point hitch, I need to get about 1,500,000 pounds of weight off the back. So what they've done here is just bolt. This is not concrete. It might look like it, but that's solid metal. I don't know what these are, like some kind of rail tracks or something. It's full of mud right now, but they're bolted to these pipes which fit inside the loader tubes. This loader, I discovered, is a Freeman 2000, I think, or maybe a Freeman 4000. I don't know. Someone said the 2000 had square tubing and the 4000 has round tubing, and it's awesome how it just gets mounted right where you want to get onto your tractor. So there's like, you're not getting on from the proper way. You got to go up the back. That's all there is to it. You got to go up the back. So that's what I do. Cylinders are strictly to be pushed up, and then gravity pulls it back down again. There's no line at this end of the cylinder to push it back down, so you're not going to get like a backhoe effect. You're not going to be able to dig a foundation. And I think somebody's added this cylinder on the front. Oh, and there's a snail in there, buddy. I think this used to be a trip bucket, and you'll see there's a hydraulic cylinder on the bucket now. But I think it was originally a trip bucket where there's a pulley up here and a cable would just run up to the driver's seat, and you'd scoop stuff. It's locked in place. You'd scoop stuff, manure probably, and then go dump it in a wagon or something, and you just pull the cable and it just dumps, and then it flips back up again and locks, ready for the next scoop. Well, it's nice having that hydraulic cylinder on it. I'm not sure one cylinder is going to do, the best, as opposed to like two cylinders, one on each side. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Oh, little buddy going for a ride. What are you thinking? We'll set him free in the woods here. Oh yeah, he looked happy. Also, one thing I did that I know is a no-no, but it's very temporary. I thought I had a push button starter, so when the key's on, I'm going to turn it off right now, make sure it's in neutral. But I just put on like a little toggle switch, so it's not spring loaded. So when I flip it up, the tractor turns over, and when it starts, I just throw it back off again with the thing. But that's not good. I mean, what if I just kind of forgot and started the tractor, or was having trouble starting it and turning it over, and then it starts and I just sort of throw it in gear and go, well, the starter's going to keep on turning until it burns itself up. So that shuts it off. The belt is pretty worn out here. It's at the end of its adjustment, and I can hear a little squeaking going on, but you can see how deep it rides in those in its pulley. I gotta do an oil change. I'm just waiting for a filter to show up. Oh, helicopter. It's quite the fuel line. I mean, let's put on lots, eh? I forgot to tighten up the hose clamp, but I can do that. I didn't have an air filter. I got one coming from the interweb there, and I just put on a foam filter for now that just happened to fit perfectly. So yeah. All right, high-low range, and then 6 speeds, ultimately 3 forward, and then high-low range. Okay, this clutch pedal has way too much free play in it, like 2 inches. I think it should be about 3/8 of an inch. I think an inch would be fine too, but there's too much, so let's adjust that. Wow. Okay, I don't think this has ever been done. Someone decided to weld it on, maybe. I might have to get a bar on this or something. Oh, I heard that. And it's still moving a fraction. I don't know, is that... Yeah, that's loose. Probably went about 15 turns too many. But let's drop that in there and give that a turn to about... That's about... I'm gonna crank that down there, maybe. I think that's good. I'm gonna tighten that up and see what happens. Ow. All right, so with any luck, you can see what was going on in here. There's the nut I loosened, head of the bolt. And now, I'll move the clutch pedal. And see there's very little travel there. And if we look at the pedal itself here, it's moving about a half an inch, maybe a little bit more. I think that's going to be perfect. So let's see if I can get this off. It's going to be heavy. I'm going to have to wrap chains around it, and I think I'll move this Argo out of the way. Just pretend you didn't see that. There's another topic coming up on that, but I got the chain fall up here, so maybe I should take it off with that. Then I think I can move those around with the bucket itself, so put them somewhere. Sort of a spur of the moment thing. I just suddenly decided I need a tractor, and well, that didn't start for me. I think it's pretty mad at me, so I got to get that on the charger and probably sell the whole works. I mean, really, and this little driveway would have been fine for it, but I kind of like the idea of the, you know, 2-minute snow plowing rather than 20-minute snow plowing. So I'm gonna go over this thing, and I don't know a whole lot about, you know, tractors. Believe it or not, I'm not a farmer. Yeah, I got boots on like a farmer, but that's it. So I did learn a bunch on the Kubota about tractors. Like I learned, you know, how the gears and the clutch, and you know how your throttle works. Like, I mean, when I first got this, if you look at some of my early videos, I didn't know how to drive it. I just assumed you just drove it with the gas pedal like a car. But when you're working it, you just set the throttle, and then you're just running it like that all the time, full power. And then you're just working the clutch on the other side, switching gears, this and that. And I know now how to work the 3-point hitch and get accessories on there and hook up the PTO. So the generator on the PTO. What else do I run? I run the rotiller, or the tiller, cultivator on the PTO. I wanted to keep the back end separate from the plow this year, so I went out and found myself electric. Well, it already had this frame and everything built for it, and then good thing I didn't film it, but the first time I made a mount to put this on, I had it set way back. You can see where I torched out the frame, and I had it set way back in so that the steering wouldn't be in the way. And then I was all proud of myself, and one time I went to go you know, check something under the hood, lifted it up, and the hood smashed right into the frame. Didn't smash into it, but I couldn't lift the hood anymore. We want to go to there, so I did some discombobulating to get that sorted out down there. I have to do a little bit more because it's still close, so I want to bend it out and up and maybe brace it a bit better before I sell it off. But you know, I was kind of excited because this one tilts, right? I was going to be able to just from the seat, just what do? Yeah, you lift it that so the handle down releases it, then you can pull it, and when the handle's back up again, it locks itself in. So that would have been pretty cool. Lock it in. But where do you see, I mean, where do you see this thing with the snow plow on it? I just don't really want to push snow with the tractor because well, you know, I might. I'd rather pull it, you know. If the back blade catches on something, that's fine. I'm a little nervous about this whole rig catching something, you know, I don't know, edge of the road or something, and either breaking the loader or breaking me. So let's check this sucker out, eh? 1955 Ferguson. So I was just taking a look at this this rear scraper blade I bought today for the tractor, you know, when I get that 3-point hitch working. And of course it spins around 180 degrees, or you can angle it and stuff. There's different, you know, drop your pin in where you want it. But I'm trying to figure out the make of it, and there's no way we can read that. It's just gone. But I'm looking at this, and maybe it'll show it better when I put it on the computer, but is it possible this says Freeman? You know, like Freeman, the same as the loader on the front of the tractor? Because that would be kind of cool. I'd have a matching set. Is it possible that's an F? R, E, E. That's surely an E. M, A, N. You can't see the A or the N, but if they're there, this might be a Freeman, which would be cool. Maybe if I get a chain on, where are you? Really? Oh, on the floor. Maybe I get a chain on this thing and that. Okay. There it goes. Here we go. And down. There. All right, I'm guessing 11/16, same as the clutch bolts. There it goes. That's the ring that holds it on, I would think. But it looks like it just goes around it. Does this thread off maybe? Oh, I bet you it does. I bet you you put a wrench on that and it, oh yeah, here we go. Well, I'm pretty much as strong as a wrench, so. Oh boy, that's probably not good. That's leaking hydraulic fluid, so I suspect the seal is gone, but I'm still curious to, I mean, that's not a lot. If that's over the course of, you know, 1,000 years, and that's not so bad. But I'll go fire it up and see what we find, see what happens. I didn't see any more. Maybe I did. I mean, there's not a lot of leakage here. I think this is still just dripping out from when I pulled the cup off, so I'm not overly concerned about it right away. I'm thinking I'll do nothing about that right now. Let's just put the cap back on. Make sure nothing got in there. Crank, I don't know then what this is all about, because it had nothing to do with it. I think all this is doing is holding the rear bearing carrier in place. That's what I'm thinking. So I didn't need to take that off at all. All I needed to do was that. Okay, well, live and learn. Lots of things to learn. You could just wait till I get a manual, but no. I can't get the 3-point hitch to work, and the crank is seized up, but hopefully I can, I don't know, it looks like the grease nipple's busted off in there. I might have to drill that out, put a new one in. But yeah, I mean, I ran this, but I noticed, yeah, let's see if I can show this better. So the lever for the 3-point hitch, I'm not really sure about how it works yet. I gotta loosen things up in here. Things are kind of tight. But I noticed when I put it down, I was playing with it and I left it down, my front hydraulics didn't work. They just quit. So when I ran this back to the top, that yeah, that allowed pressure back to the pump for the loader. Now, why? It must be. So this thing is incorporated into that, which goes into that, and it must operate the access to the external hydraulic valve. I wonder if maybe, no, I wouldn't think you'd have to shut it off to run the rear, because what if you want to do the loader and the 3-point hitch, you know, at the same time? Okay, so I did a little research on this whole hydraulic setup on this Ferguson 35, and here's where I was screwed up. I just assumed that this valve here was stock, like how they all are, and I just, you know, figured, okay, they just have this so that you can hook on an auxiliary hydraulic system for something, in this case the front end loader. Okay, but when I got looking online on these, you know, vintage tractor videos, nothing looked like this. It was all, you know, the pumps in the bottom of this tank, and it pumps the hydraulic fluid or gear oil up through a tube, and then there's kind of a shaped thing like this off the side, and it goes back down in, and that's what's operating the 3-point hitch, okay, with the use of this lever. Now, I noticed when I had this lever down, I lost function on my loader. And then, you know, eventually, wow, a Viper just went by. That was cool, a black one. Anyway, I noticed at some point I just happened to have this back up, and then my loader was working again. So now it kind of dawns on me that this is operating the flow of the pump, irregardless of what's attached to that pump. So because this has a valve on it that runs the hydraulic system for the loader, it bypasses the hydraulic system for the 3-point hitch, okay? You can't have both running at the same time. You have to either pick. Are you gonna run your 3-point hitch, or are you gonna run some other thing like a loader? Can't do them at the same time. All right, well, it's just never even dawned on me, but now it has. So that's what this knob is for, I'd imagine. Okay, it's kind of a shame the original knob is broken in two, but there's still enough threads holding it on, so I'll just tip it that way so that it looks brand new. So it says open in. I believe it's in because it's not going anywhere. Pull it out. Okay, so if I pull it out, I guess that's as far out as it goes. fingers crossed that the 3-point hitch suddenly starts working. All right, I'm gonna start with the hydraulics down, and I don't really remember how to work all these controls for the hitch, the depths and stuff. Just gonna kind of just leave them. But I'm gonna run the 3-point hitch control lever down, and then when I pull it up with any luck, something will happen back there. Let's go. Okay, let's start with something easy, just my trailer hitch from the little Kubota. Look at that, eh? Right on the pad. All right, that little trailer hitch wasn't really too much of a test, and it's just a tiny little hitch. It's for the subcompact. Let's try something bigger and heavier. Let's try out the big back blade on it. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a minute and get this trailer hitch adjusted. There's, I think, 4 bolts, 2 here and 2 further up, that are totally in line with the 3-point hitch. So of course, oh, it might clear it. I'm gonna try it first and see if it'll clear it. All right, that'll get it in close. I'm not going to try to adjust this upper link length yet until I drop this down. I suspect that the tractor will roll forward on its own when I drop it. If not, I'm going to have to hop on. And then once I get it level, I'll adjust this and hook it in. Needs a little help. So my best guess is that if this deck is level, that's the way it's supposed to ride. I can go ahead and hook up that top link now. I'm gonna have to adjust that trailer hitch after all. She's in the way. Okay, so looking out the back, you'll see maybe, I don't know, the trailer hitch sticking out the back, and it comes forward here and through two brackets, and up here at the front you'll see just one single pin goes up through the hitch, and then there's a cotter pin holding it at the top. The light's probably not going to work for you here, but when I pull this pin out, you'll get the idea. It's probably seized in place though, I'll bet you. There it goes, I think, or the punch slipped off. I think the punch just slipped off every single time. That one hit it solid, but it's really on there. Okay, I was able to bend the pin, but it didn't twist in the hole, so that's a problem. I should probably just give up and sell the tractor for like $100, or keep working at it and see what I can figure out here. It just is not going to pop out. Ow. How come everyone else's videos work out perfectly within like a minute? Oh, I think it maybe went there some. This side. Yep, there we go. Now we're turning it. Alright, now I'm doing good. Oh, but it still won't come out. I could just grind it off maybe on both sides so the pin will still drop out, and then I could punch out the rest on the vise. I can't get a grinder in there though. What was I thinking? Now I think I'm going to get the torch and cut that off. Once this long piece is off, then I can spin it around and get the short piece, and then this should just drop out. Let that cool down, and maybe I can, I don't know what I'm going to do. It'd be a lot easier to deal with if I just cut that off. That's what's going to happen. I'm torching it off. Alright, that'll do it. Yep, it hit the gearbox. Hey, is it still in it? It is. I gotta cut it again. Should do it. Here's the hot part. Oh, there was a clip on it. Some kind of clip, but it was rusted right on, so okay. Oh. Okay. Oh yeah. That was hot. Ow, everything's hot in here for some reason. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it alone for now. That's fine. I'll put a proper pin in there later, but I just want to get back out from under here and move along. I poured a 20 by 25 foot pad of concrete so that I could work on concrete. And what do? I park and work on gravel. So many rocks jabbed in my back right now. Ow! I knew that was gonna happen. Tight. Have to leave it for a bit. There's either junk in the fuel system or there's vapor lock, but either way I'm just gonna let it sit for a little bit and see if I can work it out. I might have to blow air through the fuel lines and stuff, but for now, hey, I'll update this as soon as it's running again and get this finished out, but this is gonna work out fantastic. Once again, you haven't seen this yet. Future project.